What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and for years, Lucasfilm and some of their employees have been going after Star Wars fans, insulting them, mocking them, ridiculing them, and pushing them away from that thing that they love, all because they don't have the right opinion. They're labeled haters. They're labeled a hate group at some points. And now this is all boiling over, as finally, Star Wars Theory is the one that was gone after by Pablo Hidalgo, Lucasfilm's story group lead. And what we see happening now is just a continuation of the shit that has gone on for years. Not just for 3 years since The Last Jedi. That's when it was brought to the forefront, when it became really prominent. This has been happening ever since Disney bought Lucasfilm. And it's time that this comes to an end. This is where it all started, right? A Lucasfilm executive's tweet reopened the wounds of The Last Jedi. We've talked a lot about Star Wars Theory and Pablo Hidalgo. Pablo Hidalgo responding to a post mocking him, saying emotions are not for sharing. He said that was a misunderstanding. He tried to clarify with a PR written apology, which wasn't really an apology. But most people aren't buying it because of Pablo Hidalgo's history. So he goes after the biggest Star Wars YouTube channel. But that is not the only person that is being attacked by people associated with Lucasfilm. You also have this, Rebel Force Radio, who decided to speak out. Rebel Force Radio, who was kind of public enemy number one in a lot of people's minds for what they said when they came out and spoke out against fan treatment from people associated with Lucasfilm years ago. Rebel Force Radio says this: "We've seen Lucasfilm hatred for Star Wars fandom for a long time, from Ryan's Man Babies put down, to Andy Garcia's mocking fanboy tears mug, to Chuck Wendig's pure anger on social media that he claims had Lucasfilm support. This gross mess of a PR disaster is nothing new, and kudos to them for speaking out, for actually saying something about this, because there's a lot of people who are staying silent. You have a lot of people that are continuing to shill for Lucasfilm throughout all of this, whether they're actually associated with them or not. And what you saw happen with Rebel Force Radio, with Jordan Mason, a guy who was mocking Star Wars Theory as well, is just a continuation, guys. If this is the first time you're seeing this, if maybe because it happened to Star Wars Theory and he's speaking out, this is the first time you're witnessing all of this nonsense, it has been going on for years. It has, and whether you want to believe that or not is up to you, but it's true. You can go check out all the history of this stuff. It's documented by so many people. Data Racer, Ichibaka over at Disney Star Wars is Dumb. They have the receipts. And look at what Jordan Mason does, right? Rebel Force Radio, that tweet that I just showed you, standing up for Star Wars Theory. Then Jordan Mason shares this tweet from 2018, from 2.5 years ago. Rebel Force Radio, everyone has been bullied, deal with it. Also Rebel Force Radio, the Star Wars lady posted a mug, check notes, 3 years ago that said fanboy tears. This cannot stand. And then he says, new Twitter handle, same little bitches. That is what Jordan Mason says. Now he doesn't retweet them, right? He doesn't retweet them. He screenshots their stuff and then puts it out there so they don't know that he's actually talking about them. Well, in fact, it's because he has them blocked. Rebel Force Radio. So there's a Star Wars artist for tops who likes to talk shit about Rebel Force Radio, but he has our Twitter account blocked. Cowardly fool. Saw his artwork and it sucks. No wonder he acts out in frustrated jealousy to our contribution to the fan base, just like all the rest. And that is from Jimmy Mack. Jimmy Mack and Jason over there. Listen, I don't know why they get so much hate. They are guys who love Star Wars and want to love Star Wars, but also feel the need to speak out when they see bullshit, when they see people treating the fans like dog shit. That is very fair and very reasonable, but they have been ostracized from when they were pretty connected at Lucasfilm at one point in time. And here's an example of that artwork. Yeah, listen, I don't know how Jordan Mason gets work. Maybe people like this kind of art. I don't understand it. I don't understand why you would want that, but that's not for me to decide. I'm not buying Topps Star Wars cards, in all honesty. But this is a guy who went after Star Wars Theory as well for his response. So now you have this very easy pattern to see. The response to this Variety article, if you go through it, is disgusting. There are so many people right now that are going after Star Wars Theory, that are making fun of Star Wars Theory, that are saying, oh, you should just take it, just bend over and take it. It's just someone sharing their opinion, whatever. Pablo Hidalgo is a representative of Lucasfilm. I've said this over and over again. This is not getting trolled by some random weirdo online. That happens to Star Wars Theory 100 times a day. That happens to me very often, right? And I'm a microscopic channel compared to his, but I still get that bullshit. These same trolls coming after me, whatever. That happens. It is different when it is a representative of the company that you've built your entire channel around, that this product that you love, Star Wars. When somebody who represents Lucasfilm comes after you and shits on you, that is what we have been dealing with for years. And you have Jordan Mason, right? He is an artist for Topps. He writes articles for StarWars.com. He's trying to claim he's not a Lucasfilm employee, but he's a freelancer who's very associated with them. The idea that you're trying to distance yourself, listen, man, you draw for Star Wars, you write for Star Wars. In a way, what you say does represent Star Wars for a lot of people. That's not saying you're officially like salaried Lucasfilm employee, but you're definitely associated with them. Look at what Jordan Mason says. He retweeted that initial thing saying, lol, laughing at the idea of Variety taking YouTubers' feelings hurt over obvious misunderstanding and turning it into clickbait shit. But sure, I think it's effing clear as it stands. The whole situation's ridiculous. Also, get your facts straight. He's a cancer survivor and already battled it. Not to mention the fact he has absolutely nothing to do with this performance of his. And then what he's really upset about is the fact that he's not getting as much attention because Jordan Mason was part of this group of people that tried to push this big trans Star Wars awareness thing after Lucasfilm hired Gina Carano and Rosario Dawson, who are not transphobic in any way, shape, or form, but little pussies like Jordan Mason want to pretend like they are. Marginalized Star Wars fans upset over real-world issues working together to build awareness for underrepresented people. Media trades. Crickets. YouTuber worked up over a comment from a private account he wasn't tagged in, taken out of context. Trades. Let's fucking go. That's all Jordan Mason. Pretty funny. The same group of people go from they have a right to say what they want to they need to control their people online, depending on what's said, if they agree with, like, who said it. No, the difference is, Jordan, and again, you're talking about Gina Carano. There's no doubt in my mind that's who you're talking about. The biggest difference is the fact that Gina Carano didn't go after anybody. She stated her opinion. She didn't go after fans. Pablo Hidalgo has a history of going after fans. The fans were coming after her. To be sure, she never went after anyone. She never showed any hate, any malice, anything like that. That is the biggest fucking difference, and you know it, you little cuck. And of course, there you have Jordan Mason, right, responding like that. He has blocked Rebel Force Radio, but he is tweeting about them. That is absolute bullshit. And of course, Jordan Mason responds to Ichibaka's blog, the one I'm reading right now. This explains the uptick in dumb fuck randos. Also, I wish I worked for Lucasfilm. Well, like, again, right? Again, here is your bio at StarWars.com, right? Because you do contribute to StarWars.com. And again, we talked about how you write or how you draw for Star Wars for Topps. Now, again, that might not be an official Lucasfilm capacity, but you are associated with them. No one has any doubts about that. And the way you act, it shows that you are an absolute shill for them. You have no credibility, Jordan Mason. You do have inside sources, again, because you're associated with Lucasfilm. But he wasn't the only one that came out, as we talked about. This is Pete Fletcher from Around the Galaxy podcast, right? A second Lucasfilm turd mock Star Wars thing. It's from Ichibaka. Right, I'm crying YouTube reaction video tears, going after making fun of Star Wars theory. I haven't seen this much crying since he tried to monetize someone else's IP and parlayed his cease and desist into a channel that makes a couple $1,000s a day in YouTube revenue. Now, let's be real, Pete Fletcher. So Pete Fletcher is the guy who wanted people like Drunk 3P on his channel until he got too much heat for it, for having someone on there that may have an opinion that he shouldn't have. So he was pressured to not have him on there because all of these Lucasfilm shills. So he is a coward. He is an absolute fucking coward. There is no doubt about that. And now Pete Fletcher is going after someone saying that, they're trying to monetize someone else's IP. You literally talk about Star Wars, you dumb motherfucker. That is what you do. You talk about Star Wars, so what are you doing? Isn't that trying to monetize someone else's IP as well? Reacting to things, discussing things? What an absolute hypocritical loser. And then, of course, fourth Lucasfilm turd called Star Wars 3 bottom of the barrel. We talked about this the other day. Mitch Dyer. Again, somebody who says, I don't work for Lucasfilm. No, you don't work for Lucasfilm. You just happen to write Star Wars video games for EA, who has a contract with Lucasfilm, right? Mitch Dyer going after Star Wars theory, backing backing the shitting on fans from Lucasfilm. This is constant. We have seen this over and over again. Steel Wars, someone like Steel Wars who went after Rebel Force Radio back in the day as well. What does he say? Sheesh, some people really lean in the performative offended thing. Looks like it works, though. Well, speaking of performance, go check out Steel Wars' reaction to Luke Skywalker returning. If you want to talk about performative, maybe take a look at yourself first there, Steel. That would be my recommendation. And now he says this. If you're still harboring some resentment over being referred to as a man baby 3 years later, guess what? So another Lucasfilm shill, right? Someone who is very close and very connected with Lucasfilm. It hasn't got you much. You only got 5,000 subscribers, unfortunately. So, maybe reevaluate what you're doing. Maybe be honest with people. Maybe stop trying to defend the treatment of fans. Maybe stop doing that, Steel Wars, and people have more respect for you, and you'll be a little bit more successful. But I really doubt that that will ever happen, in all honesty. But again, it's not just Star Wars Theory that's happening too. I had to stick up for the guys from Rebel Force Radio. I think they're good dudes. I don't know why they get the hate they do, but they do. People like myself, people like Jeremy, people like Gary from Nerdrotic, all these people have been speaking out for years. Drunk 3BO, people have been speaking out for years about this shit. This is normal. This happens all the fucking time. But now people are seeing it on a grander scale. The amount of people that are defending the treatment of fans, the terrible treatment of fans from Lucasfilm, is astounding. But at the same time, it's what we've seen for so long. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.